Hey everybody, welcome back to Why Not RV. This is Chris. If this is your first time watching us, please go ahead and make sure to subscribe, comment below, let me know what you thought of the video. And this week we're going to talk about some kitchen upgrades. This week we're doing two things. Number one is we're replacing the kitchen faucet, just because I don't like the way that our current faucet is. We just never really got much joy out of it. It doesn't do what we like it to do. It's kind of in the way, not really that great of a color. So anyway, we decided to go ahead and change that out. But additionally, we're gonna put in an RO system so that we have unlimited clean RO water instead of using bottled water. Like all my videos, I wanna just say right now at the beginning, if you're not comfortable doing plumbing, just like in an electrical video, if you're not comfortable doing any electrical work, do not do this project. You can use it as a reference point, but do not do this project if you're not comfortable dealing with plumbing and the water lines and all that stuff, drains, drilling a hole in your drain. If you're not comfortable with that kind of thing, do not attempt this project. So the first thing we need to do, because we're dealing with the water and the faucet and all that fun stuff, is go ahead and disconnect the water from the RV. Just gonna go down here, turn this off. Let out any pressure that I have, and now we can get started. Now we take everything out from underneath the sink so we can get to our pipes a lot easier. Once you have everything out from underneath the sink, there's just your hot line and your cold water line, which in my RV is a PEX pipe fitting, which is just a simple, pretty big wing nuts on them, so I didn't even need a wrench to take them off. Once I took those off, it was pretty easy to disconnect the rest of the faucet and pull it out. I just had to take the weight off of the faucet hose line and pull it out. And then from there we got everything ready to get drilling into the countertop, which is what you're going to see here in a second. Online it says that the standard measurements for sink for these holes is 4 inches apart from each other's center. So that's what I went off of. I kind of wish I put them out a little bit farther, maybe even just centered each side hole with each side sink. It still came out looking really good, but that's what the standard is online, is 4 inches from the center to the next hole over. To attach our adapter fitting. I had to get these adapter fittings from Ace Hardware. It goes from 1/2 inch pipe thread to 3/8 compression fitting, just because the residential sink that I got, that's the fittings that they came with. So I had to find a place to store the water tank, and it was either down here where I'm putting this housing on its side, but it's really pushing up against the tubing over here, so I don't really like that. Or it could sit in front in this big space, but then that basically blocks all of my storage for under the sink. So I decided to take this pipe apart real quick. It was real easy, just a couple fittings, move it out of the way, and the tank can sit back there behind it, which I wasn't really using that space anyway, so it's perfect. We got the sink installed. We're gonna get the soap dispenser installed. All these things for the sinks are pretty easy to install. I mean, it's just a big nut and possibly a washer that goes on the bottom side. You just tighten it down, hand tight as much as you can get it, so it's nice and snug and doesn't move around. Pretty easy thing to do. All right, so now we got to get the RO sink mount in here, so we got to feed the tubes through. So I went ahead and took my drain that comes down from the right side sink. I took it apart so that I can drill a hole in here, which is going to be for the RO system drain. Goes on to the drain like that. So we're going to go ahead and get that done. So now I have my hole in the drain. We're going to go ahead and attach the adapter for the quick connect fitting, which basically just goes right over the hole and then the other side. All right, so we got a little bit of a mess of tubing, obviously, because the RO system has a bunch of tubes going everywhere, but let me show you kind of what's going on. So from the green line, which connects to the feed, goes down into the back of the RO system, and your red is your waste. It goes through the part that goes to the sink and then back into the drain here. And you got yellow, which feeds the pressurized tank, and that's it. But All these are back in here, everything's secure. We're gonna go ahead and turn the water on and see if we have any leaks and make adjustments from there. There's the finished product. I got fresh RO water whenever I want it. Nice and clean RO water. Nice new sink. Cold and hot, it works really nicely. Detaches, sprays. And it also came with a soap dispenser. That's it for this week's video. Pretty simple thing to do. Give you a really nice upgrade to the kitchen, and looks really good, functional. And there's tons of different sinks and faucets out there, so it's just depending on what you want for you and your setup, what kind of style you like. So just find what's best for you, and if you want to make that upgrade, it's a really easy upgrade to make. Only took me a few hours. Had to run to the hardware store one time for those adapters that I didn't realize that I needed. But overall, pretty simple project. Now go ahead and hit that subscribe button below. Like the page, share it, comment, let me know what you thought. Let me know of some of the upgrades that you've made or some of the things you guys want to see in future videos. Thanks, we'll see you next time.